Man, the Cardinals look so bad. Horrible. They look so bad. There's this Cardinals fan walking around after they won.
Out here?
Yeah, out here.
Crazy, nasty word.
Yeah, it was crazy. He's a homeboy.
What?
Yeah, Chiefs fan.
Like my home see that. I wonder what to think of it.
Yeah, I don't really know.
Hey, bro. You know what's up, man, bro? We're not here for them. They lost. You understand me? They lost. We're here for this team of white and red. This white and red. Today I'm insufferable. Y'all not gonna be able to stand me today. And now, let's start the show, bro.
They do call him Black Jesus.
Exactly.
Yep.
But I would never call him that.
That's disgusting. If you eat,
No.
if you eat Hershey's bar for fun, you like golf balls in your mouth.
Really weird. So, I'm a really simple guy when it comes to women. What is wrong with you?
I ask myself that every day.
I don't know what the hell happened from the series before to the series with the Celtics.
It's my biggest conversation, and I hope we go viral with this one.
Princess in the Frog.
You're drunk. You should not be drinking. You should not be drinking this early in the day, bro.
Buddy, I still got 30 minutes. I start drinking.
Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Gumball Sports Machine. We are back this week. First of all, I hope I haven't edited it yet, but which is forcing me to edit it. But I hope you all enjoyed that little skit we had at the beginning. I thought it'd be a good idea. I thought it was pretty funny. Again, shout out to these guys for taking part in that skit and being fans of the teams, of the losing teams that they are. But speaking of these guys, of course, I got my co-host back in the building. I got David Largo, aka DLO, back in the building. Yes, round of applause for David Largo. How about that guy? And of course, and got a very special member of the team, got Tone back in the building. Again, a round of applause for Tone, and round of applause for this brand new setup, man. This is dope. We got the couch in here. We got the GSM logo here. We got we set up for it, man. But boys, what's going on? How's the week? How was D'Lo, how was the week, man? How was productive?
Yeah, a lot of work. A lot of work, a lot of school, but still had time to watch some football.
Damn right we did.
Yeah, we did.
Tone, how was the week, man? Was busy, productive?
Busy week, always busy when you got a little one. Shout out to the little man. But he was a little sick, so he's back recovered, back in school at this moment. But yeah, definitely caught up on my Patriots.
Me too. Me too. I'm also caught up on that.
All right, here we go.
I'm just saying. I mean, two of us, or one of us, excuse me, one of us is wearing a winning jersey from this weekend. The other two are fans of teams who lost this weekend. I don't like to part. Bless you. Bless you. Don't do it again, or else.
Oh, I know. Only two.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
listen, that's an unspoken rule. If you sneeze twice, you get 2 bless yous. If you sneeze a third time, that's on you.
Absolutely.
Okay, I never heard of that, but now I know. You learn something new every day.
Yeah, I only say bless you twice, and then the last one you're on your own. You gotta fight. You gotta fight the demons.
Yeah, no. If you're sneezing more than 3 times in a row, yes, I need at least 12 feet. I'm getting a restraining order. The devil is inside of you.
Allergy pill or something. Gotta shout out.
Oh yeah, no, holy water immediately. Holy water immediately.
Just sprinkle it on the head.
But all right, boys, we said we get into some football.
Yeah, let's get it going.
And we'll save the best for last. We'll save the best for last. Yeah. And some people say first for worst or worst for first.
Yeah, we'll get into our games first. Losing teams. We'll talk about his last, and we got some other games that we want to touch on. We'll start with me. Niners Vikings team looked atrocious.
They look pretty bad.
Offense looked bad. Defense looked bad. Play calling looked bad. Everything looked really bad.
Yeah. So I'll let you take off, and then Tone, you said you watched that game. I'll let you kind of rip into the 49ers a little bit. Also, always love a good ripping into the 49ers.
Yeah, of course.
Always love a good ripping into the 49ers. But I'll let you guys go first, and then I'll kind of follow up.
Yeah. Offensively, the bright spot was Jordan Mason, and that was it. Let me not discredit. Juwan Jennings was also he had some good plays, but outside of those two, the offense looked terrible. Ayuk had like one catch the entire game. We paid him $30 million. Debo got hurt towards the end of the game. And then on the defense looked terrible too. We were talking earlier, outside of, Fred Warner, who does everything. Nick Bosa had 2 sacks, and Charvarius Ward did his thing. But outside of that, there was nothing to be had. Everywhere you looked on the field, there was something to be had. So yeah, even Brock Purdy threw 2 picks against the Vikings. Yeah, which is not an elite defense. They're not.
No, that is a broken down defense.
So yeah, I don't know what happened. Maybe it was just the Vikings day or something's going on. But
I know you said that there's like a laundry list of bad habits, but what would you contribute to the number 1, number 2 things that you lost?
Man, and we've talked about it quite a bit. That secondary, outside of Charvarius, played awful.
Yeah,
on Sunday.
I keep telling you, Diamador Lenore is an absolute liability.
And that's the thing, is like most of the big plays were not on him. They weren't on him. They weren't on Charvarius. It was safety.
Yeah.
That we gave up a 97-yard touchdown to Justin Jefferson. Sam Darnold threw it from the end zone and got it all the way to the 70.
Absolutely.
That can't happen.
Unacceptable.
It can't happen. There were so many plays like that, and it just goes to show you why Justin Jefferson is the best quarterback in the league, or wide receiver in the league. He's quarterback proof. He had Nick Mullins last year, and he was going crazy. Now he's got Sam Darnold, who's played really well, actually.
Yes.
Outside of the one pick by Fred Warner where he leaped like 7 feet in the air to pick it off. Yeah, he's looked great, and he's maybe revitalized in Minnesota, but yeah, Justin Jefferson is quarterback proof and solidifies our argument that he's the best receiver in the league.
Yeah,
so
100%.
Outside of that, there's not much to talk about. We looked like trash. The Vikings look really good.
So what were your takeaways from that game?
From his game or from the page?
His game. Not his Vikings.
Honestly, I didn't catch a lot of it, but I mean, like he said, the defense looked kind of suspect, and usually the 49ers defense isn't horrible. They usually got something to show, and watching a team of that caliber on defense fall short was almost channel changing worthy.
I did. It was the third quarter. Brock Purdy threw his second pick. I turned the game off. Yeah, I swapped to the Seahawks game.
Damn, hold on. Did you just say that?
I mean, they won.
What?
We'll get into it later. But I swapped to that game. I was watching some of the other early morning games, but I had to turn it off. I was so upset.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of either team, so I wasn't that upset, but just from following the past, the 49ers usually have a tough defense. I mean, they usually have a pretty high caliber offense as well. That's what they fly on. But yeah, like you said, maybe it was just Minnesota's day.
I'll tell you what. First of all,
here we go.
It's almost like I told you that secondary could be had. And that's exactly what it was on Sunday. Sam Darnold had a field day with that. Now, Sam Darnold obviously is not a top 10 or 15 quarterback in the league, but I will say he played well. Within these first 2 weeks, he played very well.
He's played very well.
He's been very efficient. Like I said, he only has 1 turnover. So he's played well. He's done the things that he's supposed to do. That should not. Why? That is the 49ers. That is one of the best defenses. You say is the best defense in the league.
It is. And it got had.
And they absolutely got had by Sam Darnold. Now, I don't know what it is against the 49ers have against the Vikings. For whatever reason, they won 3 in a row last year. They had won 3 in a row going into Minnesota on Monday Night Football. Minnesota got them up out of there.
Oh yeah, I have a stat for everyone too. Brock Purdy is 14-0 against the NFC and is 0-2 against just the Vikings.
Imagine.
Yeah, just the
Imagine.
Vikings. It's like the Vikings have the Niners number.
They just have their number.
That happens though.
And it absolutely does. And that's the thing in all sports that happens. And I think in this case, I think it's just another case that the Vikings have their number. I don't know if Kevin O'Connell just knows what the 49ers are going to do. I don't know. It could be coaching, it could be something else. But yeah, again, whether you have the number or not, Sam Darnold is not the quarterback you exactly want to light you up like that. Again, you have Justin Jefferson, who is the best receiver in the league, who also did get hurt, unfortunately. So
They say how long he's out for?
they did not. I don't think. Hopefully, it's not an IR stint. But I think it's a quad injury. So hopefully he's not out for too long. But yeah, Sam Darnold is not the guy you want blowing up your defense like that.
No.
I understand it's week 2, whether it's week 2 or week 13.
Yeah,
Not very acceptable.
And it'll get better. The secondary will once Hufanga comes back. Obviously, he's still not on the field, but Hufanga doesn't save the secondary. There needs to be some changes there if we want to compete for a Super Bowl. So
100%.
We'll move on. No, any other thoughts before we move on?
No, I think yesterday that Jordan Mason played well. He's played well, but the defense needs to make some changes.
Speaking of, I got a harp. That's why I said the play calling was really bad. 4th and 3. We're in the red zone, and we're throwing on the 3-yard line. 4th
and how
3.
well Jordan Mason was running the ball.
Yeah,
That's what doesn't make any sense. That's what does not make
he
any
was
sense.
averaging like 8 yards a carry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
that's
I just had to point that out. We'll move on. Seahawks, Pats. Overtime victory for the Seahawks.
that was a good game.
Yeah, it was a really good game. We're gonna pass it to Tony.
Entertaining until the end.
Yeah, so 23-20, we're gonna pass it to Tony, get his thoughts, and then me and Jamal will go ahead and follow up.
I would say so far so good for the Pats, even though we lost. Having a new coach, new quarterback ish, new pieces. I'm not surprised that we kind of struggled in some ways, but the overall performance wasn't too bad. I like Jacoby. I like what he's been doing thus far. The defense, I actually expected us to play a little bit better, especially with having Mayo as the coach. Him being a defensive specialist. I thought there was a couple plays, man. DK got away, and I'm like, he's their guy. You kind of expect the focus to be on him, and he got away with a couple big plays, man. And yeah, our secondary was looking kind of weak. I hope we have a good turnaround because I believe we play a Thursday, right?
Yeah, against the Jets.
Yeah, I'm not excited to play those guys either. My father will be probably sending me a text message Wednesday. But yeah, I'm excited for the season, man. I like to see the new growth. I like the challenges. And again, I've seen some progress quickly with the new coach, and it looks like the team is backing him, which is always something that you kind of look to see when they get a new coach. But I really like what Jacoby's doing. I had a conversation with some fellows over the week. They're saying that they think Drake might be out there earlier than thought, but I don't know. I like Jacoby, man. I like what he's doing. I like what he's producing. He's not throwing the ball away. He's getting the ball away when they're attacking him. He's making the right moves. He's staying in the pocket long enough to get the receivers open. I like what I'm seeing.
Gumball.
Just wish we won.
Yeah, you know what? I think the best part about that game is you guys had a chance to win.
It was a winnable game.
It was a very winnable game. And I think the fact that you guys are actually competing in games is a very good sign. Now, I don't think you're going to win I think you're going to win maybe 5 games this year, 4 or 5. The only thing is, if you're winning 4 or 5 games and you have a top 10 pick and you go out and get, maybe a Travis Hunter or, a James Pierce, those are key pieces you could use, especially defensively. The worrisome part in terms of the present is the secondary is supposed to be the strong suit of the Patriots. You have Christian Gonzalez, you have Jabril Peppers back there, you have you have pieces. So you have Kyle Duggars back there. You have pieces that should make this secondary at least a decent secondary. And Geno Smith had a field day.
He did.
He had a field day. So I think that's the worrisome part in terms of right now. But you guys look at if you ask me, I don't think Drake May should touch the field this year.
I don't think so either.
Jacoby's
looked good.
He's looked good, but even then, that gives Drake May a chance to learn. He learn the offense completely, learn how to be a pro, learn how fast the game is. Like, I understand experience is the best teacher, but who says obviously you can't get in-game experience, but who says you can't get experience by sitting down and watching somebody who's been doing it for so long? Jacoby Brissett has been in the league for a long time.
Michael Penix.
Michael Penix, the same thing. He's the same thing.
He's behind a better quarterback.
Yeah, and he's behind a much better quarterback. So I think it's going to be good for these younger guys to learn, because obviously there's a lot of rookie quarterbacks that are starting day one.
Yeah. We'll talk about one later. Yeah.
Yeah. Jaden Daniels. There's guys who are starting day one who have not had too much success. Although it's week 2, they haven't had very much success. So I don't think Drake May should, or I don't think he will touch the field this year.
Maybe later in the season, if we're actually as bad as you're predicting. Maybe just to get him a few runs out there, a few touches. But and then it's always injuries, football. So if Jacoby were to get hurt and be out a week or two, it'd be good to have somebody to get some experience for the future. But I agree, Jacoby's he's balling, man, right now. And it looks like the team is backing him, which is another good sign, because sometimes teams fall apart when they're not excited to see who's out there throwing the football.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, I think going into this year, everyone knew what to expect with New England. They were going to be a defensive-heavy team, and they've shown it so far. They held the Bengals to 10 points week 1, and then week 2, Seattle, which has a lot of pieces offensively, to 23, which isn't bad, 20 in regulation. So most of them being field goals. So, you knew coming in what you were expecting from the Pats. I think offensively, we've seen them be better than what we thought they were going to be. Obviously, we talked about Jacoby being good, but I really want to point out Ramondre Stevenson has ran the ball so well to start the year.
And the not to cut you off, D-Lo, but the fact that you brought that up, he's run the ball so well this year. He couldn't do anything last year. Just want to point out, he was on my fantasy team last year. I saw what he did the previous year.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, this guy's gonna be good.
The Pats always have a good O-line, though.
They have
history that I've been watching football. I don't watch a lot of football, but we've always had a great O-line. I mean, we had to cover 12 for a lot of years, and so that's something that we stood on.
Yeah,
for sure.
But I think that the thing that's haunting the Pats right now is the lack of weapons. We were talking about it earlier. First half, Hunter Henry got the ball and he was eaten, and then they went away from it the second half. Obviously, we talk about Ramondre Stevenson and how good he is, but they don't have a clear wide receiver 1. And if you get a high pick, you have to look at Travis. You have to look there.
But are you going to put him at corner, or are you going to put him at receiver? Because he's not going to play two-way in the NFL.
It depends on how Christian Gonzalez pans out. If he can stay healthy, and he can stay at the level that he's playing. Obviously, he got burned last week, Kevin.
Oh, no, Kevin will be on here within the next week or two. So,
I was going to text him, and then I decided not to after we lost.
But yeah, I mean, I think you slot him at receiver, and you have to put weapons on that offense. I think that's the problem with the Pats right now.
The only thing is, dude, Travis Hunter is, I don't know if he's a much better DB, but he's a better DB than he is receiver.
Think so?
I know so. I have full 100% confidence.
The league is different, though. You know, like going any sport, college to the professionals, it's always different.
Yeah,
and you never know what someone's capable of until they're there.
Yeah, do we think Puka Nacua coming out of the draft was going to be the best receiver? No, of course not. So,
and then you got to look at the other weapons. Like, honestly, I didn't think that Hunter was going to be what he is, and I love that connection between Jacoby and Hunter right now. And then if you add that capable receiver, it can look different, man. That offense can look different.
I know the receiver not market, but the receiver class coming up here is not amazing. Not definitely not what it is last year.
No,
but again, if it were me, I would rather put Hunter at DB than receiver. I think he's a better DB than he's a receiver.
I think they'll figure that out in training camp if they do draft him, but they just need a receiver in that core to stand out. Yeah. So I think that's what's plaguing the Pats right now. But they've looked better than I think everyone thought they were going to.
Oh, 100%. 100%. So, all right, boys. Any other takes on that game before we get to some winning games, or before we get some winning teams?
No, we're talking about your team last.
Huh?
We're talking about your team last. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll still talk about some winning teams though.
Oh, for sure. Hold on 1 second, dude. All right. The mics for the
I know what he's got going. I'll knock over that.
Never prepared. He never is. Hey, leave it in the video. Like, subscribe, do all the things.
Definitely. Leave some comments too, man.
Yeah. While we wait for Jamal, tell us how your day was. Tell us your favorite part of the episode. Do something.
Tell us your favorite Celtic of all time.
Yeah, let's not do that. Let's not talk about the Celtics. We're not Celtics fans around here.
I'm just throwing in basketball during our football talks and takes. That's where my heart lives, fellas.
Yeah.
Ladies.
Who's the best athlete to play in Boston? How about that? Drop that in the comments. Best athlete to play in Boston.
Ever play in Boston? It's hard to go against the man's jersey I got on. Super 12.
Kind of hard. You could determine that however you want, if you want to talk about just pure athletic ability.
That's true.
If you want to talk about the greatest athlete, your criteria, put it in the comments.
Yeah, because you can go winner. Like you said, you can go athlete.
Yeah.
Greatest winner has got it. Oh, how can I even say that? Can't go against the Bill of the Russell.
Yeah, can't go against Bill Russell, although Tom Brady is up there. I think
definitely I'd say 1A, 1B. I don't like to go 1 and 2 because the GOAT is the GOAT, man.
Yep.
Although this guy walking in the room, he likes to brag about this baby goat thing.
Yeah, we don't know what that's about.
Yeah, especially because consistency matters, man. And this guy, I don't want to wish any bad luck on anybody, but the guy could get hurt next week and then not play for the next 4 seasons. Tom played for so many seasons and was consistently a winner, man.
Oh, we'll get into that game. I got some things to say about that game.
Yeah, it was close till it wasn't. And we were talking during the week, Kevin and I, about us beating them last week, and if they lose to them this week, how funny it would be.
How funny it would be.
I was telling them all I was waiting to hit send, and then they pulled out. They
shouldn't have won.
Hell no, the refs were definitely in their favor. Although I don't like to get too nitpicky, because as a man who again supported 12, we used to get some calls.
Yeah.
But I mean, it happens when you're great like that, man. Sometimes the calls fall your way, man.
Hell yeah, Deflategate.
Hey.
First words I hear when I walk out of the plate.
Hey, leave that in the video.
Yeah.
Just because you want to walk away, don't mean we stop talking about some content. All right. All right.
No, I'll probably leave it in. Most of it, at least. Oh, I'm back, boys. All right, DLO, you are taking over. What's the next game we're talking about?
All right, next game. Just brief thoughts. We don't have too much to say about it. Saints, Cowboys.
Cowboys are dog. They can't stop the run. They did a good job with the week 1. They did a great job defensively. They got to the passer. They did a decent job with the run, but that's the problem that they've had. That's the problem that they had all year last year. They could not stop the run. It bit them again in the playoffs when they played Green Bay. They cannot stop the run. The Cardinals got it for 250. Last year, Green Bay got it for a whole lot. 49ers got it for a whole lot. They cannot stop the run.
And it's bad because NFC running backs are a lot better.
So much. I mean,
CMC, Saquon, you've got
James Conner. Throwing him in there.
Alvin Kamara. Josh Jacobs is now in Green Bay. Aaron Jones is in Minnesota. Like, there's so many running backs in the NFC. Bijan Robinson.
Yep.
We're expecting the Falcons to make the playoffs. We'll be there.
Yeah.
So, hey, listen.
And where's the money at? Like, besides the quarterback.
CD got paid.
That's the thing. Michael Parsons haven't even got paid.
Micah Parsons has not got paid. Trevon Diggs got his money. It's a lot of it is actually in the offensive line.
A lot of it, yeah.
They usually have a great defensive line, right?
DeMarcus Lawrence.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. You're paying all these guys. You have to they have to show up when they absolutely need to. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah,
that's the problem. That's always been the problem with Dallas. That's always been the problem. Dak wasn't even that bad, but when you're giving up 3 touchdowns to Alvin Kamara in the first half, and Derek Carr is
was it 3 or 4?
He had 1 in the second half, 3 in the first.
Yeah, that's insane. Derek Carr, again, he is a average NFL quarterback at best.
Michael Jackson highlight.
You say if he's doing that in Jerry's world, they're not even in New Orleans.
Yeah, they're in Dallas.
In Dallas,
they came in and 40 bombed him,
and that broke a streak of like 14 or 15 straight regular season home games for the Cowboys. So that if I'm a Cowboys fan, I'm a little worried again because you can't stop the run, and if you can run the ball effectively, now all you need to do is be able to rush the other team's passer. And the Saints are able to do that. They have guys who can do that. They still have Cameron Jordan, who's a little older, but he can still get the job done.
Do you think AK is back?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. 100%.
Yeah. And I think the big credit goes to offensive coordinator who came over from San Francisco.
Yep.
He has revitalized that offense. Alvin Kamara is getting involved. Receivers are getting involved. What's his name? Rashid?
Yeah,
Rashid
Shaheed.
Yeah.
Rashid.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Looks phenomenal. Chris Olave hasn't gotten too involved yet, but
That's the worrisome part.
We know what Chris Olave can do. And so, but if you take the ball out of Derek Carr's hands and you're able to put it in Kamara's and still win, you have to be ecstatic in New Orleans. You have to be. So I don't think there's much to talk about. The Saints look. We were worried about the Saints. That's why we didn't have them on the pole of power. They played the Panthers, but going into Dallas and then smacking Dallas, that defense the way that they did, you have to look at New Orleans and think they could possibly win that division.
100%. And this is. That's the crazy part. The NFC South looks like the best division in football
right now,
aside from the Carolina Grasshoppers. But
who
the Carolina Kitty Cats
benched Bryce Young. Andy Dalton is now starting.
So again, aside from the Carolina Kitty Cats, the Saints look damn good.
The
Bucks look damn good, and the Falcons are going to be very good. They just beat the Eagles last night. We're going to get into here.
We'll get into that. Drake London game winning TD. Bijan looked good. Kirk looked good.
I mean, that run game looked fantastic.
Yeah,
when they actually ran the ball.
So, hey, that division is looking real good. Shout out to the Saints for back-to-back 40 pieces.
Yeah, how about that? 91 points in the first 2 weeks.
And who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
I had to make sure Drew Brees wasn't back.
Yeah. You see, you know the meme where it's like the guy, Spider-Man putting on his glasses. At first it's blurry, and then oh man,
yeah. Next game, we're just going to touch on Texans Bears. Texans offense looked stagnant on Sunday night, but they still found a way to win. Joe Mixon got hurt, little ankle injury, but I think the bigger story is Caleb Williams. What's going on?
So I'll start with what you started with. I'll start with Houston. I love Houston. I think they're the 2 or 3 best teams in the AFC AFC.
Yeah, I'd put them right at 2 right now.
I'd
put them 3.
I'd put them 3.
I'll put them 3.
I'd put them 3 right now. But also stay tuned. Pull the power here.
Pull
in a few
power.
minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, Gumball and DLO pull the power. All right, well, that was awkward. But no, I love Houston. Their offense again, they did look stagnant at times. The thing for me is that when they needed points, they got them.
They got him. Yep.
Nico Collins looked great.
Nico Collins has proven he's wide receiver 1 in Houston.
Yeah, I agree. He is wide receiver 1 over Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
So Nico Collins, he plays hard. He does remind me a lot of Andre Johnson. Tone. Andre Johnson. Like I love Andre Johnson, and he reminds me. Yeah, a lot of Nico Collins.
Yep.
Joe Mixon getting hurt kind of hurt them a lot. Kind of losing that run game. They weren't able to run the ball nearly as efficiently when Joe Mixon went out. Stephon Diggs had his moments. But the defense looked great. They got to Caleb Williams a whole lot. The secondary looked good. Derek Stingley had a crucial pick. Jalen Petrie in the secondary is very good. So you have pieces. Will Anderson, again, rushing passer.
Reigning defensive rookie of the year.
Exactly. Like that team is stacked. And I love the way they play together. I absolutely love the culture that D'Amico Ryans is building over there. So again, I think they're a top 3 team in the AFC right now.
Yep.
And we'll see if I think they're a top 5 team in the NFL. So we'll see here in a few minutes. But Caleb Williams, I think you're right, is the bigger story.
Yeah.
He did not look good.
It's 2 weeks in a row and threw 2 picks on Sunday night.
Yeah. 2 really bad picks.
2 really bad picks. And I understand that he drove the ball down the field one time and he got a score on that one drive. But outside of that, there wasn't a whole lot of bright.
And the thing is, they had a chance to go win the game.
They did.
At the end of the game, they had a 2-minute drive in which they go score a touchdown, they win the football game. Weren't able to do it. Again, I understand it's week 2 and he's a rookie, but moments like that are what make legends.
Especially with the receiving core that they have. We think is one of the better in the league with Keenan Allen and
I will say
DJ
though,
Moore.
Keenan Allen was out. He was hurt.
I understand, but then you still have DJ Moore, you have Roma Dunze.
Yeah.
You still have pieces.
DeAndre Carter had a good game.
He's got to go out and do something.
Yes.
Expectations are everything, man. And like you said, he's a rookie, but when you live up to those expectations,
oh man,
especially with everyone out of the draft calling him a generational talent.
Yeah. I didn't get to watch that game, but I, definitely heard about his name all summer. And I was like, man, this kid must be nice. This kid must be nice. And the second week that I'm hearing bad things.
And it's tough because Caleb Williams, I don't think he's realized the plays he made in college, he won't be able to make those plays in the NFL because everybody is just as athletic or more as he is.
Once he realizes that he has to hit his reads, he will be good.
Yeah.
He's got to realize that he needs, if he sees his read, you got to throw it.
Yeah.
You don't have time to dilly-dally and do all this in the pocket like in college. You have to go through your checkdowns and you have to make the right read and you have to get the ball out.
Yeah.
And he just hasn't done it so far.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. NFL pass rush is not nearly the same as college pass rush.
No.
And he doesn't have nearly the offensive line he did in college.
Nope. But again, shout out to the Bears defense holding what we consider one of the better offenses in the league to 19 with a chance to go win the game.
That defense is no joke.
Yeah. Shout out to the Bears defense.
Yeah, I think that's part of the expectations is they got such a great defense that they just expected Caleb to get them over Sunday Holmes. And second week in a row,
he just was not at all impressive.
Yeah. Any other comments before we move on?
Caleb needs to be better.
I agree. We're going to skip to Monday night. We'll come back to the other two games. Falcons-Eagles. Falcons 1-point win. Drake London, game-winning touchdown from Kirk Cousins.
Here's my problem with Philly. So you had Philly number 1 in Gumball and DLO's Polar Power last week.
I did, and that's because they ran the ball last week, and they did not do that this week.
And I'm glad you said it. That's my biggest problem with them. They refuse to run the ball. I understand Jalen Hurts has been an MVP candidate in this league before. I understand he's taken to the Philadelphia Eagles to a Super Bowl before and gave him a chance to win. You now have one of the best running backs in the NFL,
which you paid a lot of money for.
A whole lot of money. Give him the football.
Yeah, you definitely got to.
Yep.
If you don't, he's out there making money for what? Give him the football. Now, I'll get into this in a second. Now, okay, let me preface this by saying this. Football games are not won and lost by one play.
Nope.
They absolutely are not. But football games also come down to moments.
They can be won in one play.
They can be. I don't necessarily agree with that.
It comes down to one play, and you got that, and you make it in the game.
And I'll tell you this. My bad. Right before you go do it. In that play, the game can be won. How did you get to that play?
Sure.
Right. What are the things you did right in order to get to that play? Sure. So that's only reason why I say games cannot be won and lost in one play.
I think it depends on the game, right? One play, momentum, and it derails from there, right? So that one play caused all of this to happen. And that's what happened in San Francisco. After that 97-yard touchdown from Justin Jefferson, everything went downhill. That one play right there, momentum shift, won them the game.
Right.
So it can happen. Not that it happened here. Here, it was a culmination of just everything. But in some games, there is just that one play that turns the tide and it wins games. So I think it just depends game to game basis. When it happens also matters. But yeah. I'm gonna disagree on that point. Just for specific games.
But even to your point, right? A big play like that happens. Justin Jefferson has a 97-yard touchdown. What was the score after that touchdown?
3-10.
Which means San Francisco then got the ball after that.
Yeah, and threw a pick.
Again, I understand
momentum.
I understand momentum, but that game was not won or lost on that play.
I think it was.
Because there was so many more plays leading up to that, and after that. So again, people, you can tell me, right? Super Bowl, whatever it was in 2018, with the Patriots came back to beat the Falcons.
Oh yeah,
that game was not won or lost on one play. No.
That was just
although momentum shifted.
Smackdown.
Momentum shifted, but it was not won or lost on one play.
But I think he's speaking of, like, again, he said specific games.
Yeah, specific
so morale can be crushed by one play to where a team, like you said, momentum, they know, oh, we're back in this game, and the score can still be lopsided, but then like we're back in this game. And you can read the opposition and say, oh shoot, they know that we have an opportunity.
Yep.
And it changes.
And it's not like basketball where it's a game of runs. In football, it is one run. And once that run happens, it's kind of hard to shift it. There are the exceptions, Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, but there's not many games like that.
Right. Once
a team gets to a lead, it is hard to overcome that in the NFL specifically. We saw it last week. Another instance of that happening in the Cardinals-Bills game. The Cardinals were up 17-3, and then the Bills came back and won. But you don't see that as often as you do in other sports.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to get at, though.
Yeah, and again, to you guys' point. Now there can be a game in which the game completely flips. But again, once the game flips, you still have an opportunity to go win the game.
Yeah, you can still.
So that's the only reason why I'm saying games are never won and lost by one play. So again, we can agree or disagree on that. But in terms of this Falcons-Eagles game, again, they have to run the ball. They have to run the ball. They have to run the ball a lot more. Jalen Hurts has to stop turning the ball over. I know he had the one pick at the end of the game, but you have a chance to go down and win the field and get a field goal to go win the game.
Mm-hmm.
You can't turn the ball over.
Can't turn the ball
That's
over.
a really bad turnover too. It's a really bad pick. Completely overthrew Devontae Smith. Didn't even see the safety coming back from the backside.
And you said it in week 1 in my poll of power. Jalen Hurts had 2 really bad turnovers against Green Bay.
Yeah.
And I overlooked it because they looked so dominant run game wise.
Right.
Saquon looked so dominant and they got away from it, and they didn't have to. Obviously, when you're down big, you have to throw the ball to overcome that, but they weren't down big at all in that game. They had the ability to run the ball and they didn't.
So is that just bad coaching?
I think that falls a lot on the coaching staff.
Yeah, and not Nick Sirianni specifically. Obviously, they have a new offensive coordinator.
Oh,
who's
I disagree. I think this Nick Sirianni has a big part in that.
Oh, I agree. I just think it can't fall all on Nick Sirianni.
Okay, that
obviously new offensive coordinator, and he's the play caller now in Philly. Is that OC? Yeah. So I think it falls between them, but Nick Sirianni still has to go over to OC and say, "Hey, give Saquon the ball."
Yeah,
you got to do it. So, yeah, I mean, Falcons look good. Kirk bounce back week.
Yeah, and I think that Falcons team is only getting started. I think they're only going to get better from here.
I agree.
And the fact that they should have lost that game and they were able to come out on top, and that offense is still learning how to play with each other, I think that's scary for the rest of the league.
Yeah, and shout out to unsung wide receiver Darnell Mooney.
Yeah, who made some huge plays in that game.
Plays.
Huge, obviously the touchdown, but he made some huge plays on that last drive too. So,
yep.
Yeah, Darnell Mooney looked good.
Moved on. Chiefs, Bengals. Bengals had this game.
They should have won.
They should have won.
Should have won this game. Tone and I talked about a little bit about it before. You even got here, DLO. Obviously, a lot of people are talking about, the refs this, the refs that. Again, the refs are another thing. They don't win you games and they don't lose you games. That there's never been a game in which the ref lost the game for a team or won a game for a team.
They still have to make the plays.
Still have to make the plays. Still have to make the plays.
Yep.
So obviously the pass interference on 4th and 16.
Horrible.
That's all. I mean, that's obvious.
Can't happen.
Cannot happen. Absolutely cannot. So again, the Bengals had a chance to win this game. They should have won this game.
They should have won the game.
You don't let Mahomes have an opportunity with 2 minutes remaining in the game.
And
anytime in the 2 minutes.
That's my thing. Mahomes did not look good on Sunday.
He looked terrible.
He threw 2 picks in the game.
Yeah.
And if you look on the opposite side of the field, Joe Burrow had 2 touchdowns, no picks, no turnovers. So they should have fully won the game. And they didn't. I think a big factor in that is Isaiah Pacheco in the run game. Obviously, he got hurt at the end of the game. Prayers up for Isaiah Pacheco, but
yeah, he's gonna be out for at least
6 to 8 weeks. Yeah, but that was the difference. The Bengals do not have a run game.
No.
They are pass, and we knew that coming in. They traded Joe Mixon. Everyone was wondering why. Why did you do that? You don't have any running backs now to run the football. And so,
that hurts when the game gets tight. You can't burn the clock.
And
exactly.
It does.
Big facts.
It hurts when the defense knows you have Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase on the other side. You're going to throw the ball.
Yeah.
T. Higgins hasn't even come back yet. He's still injured. So it's only going to get worse. The Bengals have to be able to run the ball if they want to win games.
Have to. And look, Zach Moss had his moments in Indy. He had his moments. He was good. He was good at times. He's not an RB1.
Nope.
He is not an RB1.
So
I have full confidence in saying that.
Maybe the Bengals aren't it this year.
Chiefs defense looked pretty good though.
Yeah,
they did last week too.
But the Chiefs defense was a top 10 defense in the league last year.
Yep.
And so you see what happens when you give Patrick Mahomes, the best quarterback in the league, a top 10 defense. They go out and win the Super Bowl. So if you're able to score points and you're able to stop the other team from scoring points, that is a recipe for success. And you've seen it here in the first 2 weeks for the Chiefs. Huh?
So now I know.
We know. Yeah, we know. You talk about it a lot.
Oh, love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
The fact that Patrick Mahomes can have a really bad game overall like he did, and they still come out and win the game says a lot about that Chiefs defense.
I love his poise, though. Even when he's struggling, he still seems
comfortable. And he still threw 2 touchdowns, if I remember correctly. Yep. So it's not like he played like completely like Caleb Williams level, but he still had 2 really bad turnovers.
And you want to hear another stat? They won this game. Travis Kelce had 1 reception.
Yeah, where is he at?
That's 1 reception.
Where he was in no show last week against Baltimore. Where has he been?
Nothing. Again, I understand it's only been 2 weeks, but Travis Kelce has been an absolute no show.
I like Rashee Rice emerging as that wide receiver 1.
And Xavier Worthy, to this day, it is September 17th, whatever it is. To this very day, he has been the best rookie of 2024.
Can I drop a bomb real quick? Just want you guys to pay attention to the jersey that this man has on and how he's speaking so highly.
Man. He is a Mahomes boy.
Oh, I am absolutely.
You saw the skit.
You understand me what I'm saying? A Mahomes boy.
But yeah, Rashee Rice has looked phenomenal emerging as that wide receiver 1. Xavier Worthy only had 2 catches on Sunday, and yet his presence still felt on the field.
You have to plan for him. He's too fast. He's too dangerous in order for you not to plan for him because he will absolutely burn you if you don't.
Yeah, but I think the biggest takeaway is that they're going to miss Isaiah Pacheco.
Oh,
he was the offense on Sunday.
And he's going to be out for 6 weeks.
At
least.
Yeah, and I think Adam Schefter reported they're bringing in Kareem Hunt, former Kansas City running back, for a visit. So we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, I mean, Chiefs in a really ugly win that they shouldn't have had, but still pulled out.
That's what winners do.
Put a lot of pressure on Joe.
Yeah.
0-2
to start. We know they start slow, but Jamar Chase has to get going.
And he just came out saying that he doesn't plan on re-signing. So
that's another tension builder.
Yeah.
So if they're even going to compete in the AFC, in the AFC North, let alone the AFC,
they gotta get going.
Have to get better.
Last game that we're gonna
for Gumball and DLO's Polar Power, for which I'm very excited for today.
You guys might have to start saying pause after that too. Just gonna add that in.
What do you mean?
The pole of power sounds kind of crazy.
Whoa! I didn't even. Hey, listen. Hey, if the shoe fits, you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying?
The shoe does not fit. The shoe does not fit for me. It can fit for Gumball, but
yourself,
I was gonna go into our last game
down there,
but I remembered. Do we want to talk Raiders Ravens real quick? We want to talk about Lamar and the Ravens being 0-2.
What do you guys think? You want to talk about it real quick, or do you just want to move on?
We don't have to talk about the Raiders. We just need to talk about Lamar and the Ravens.
Yeah, get it together.
0-2, and they have 3 juggernauts coming up on the schedule. They could realistically start 0-5.
They have the most difficult schedule in the league. In terms of the entire year, the most difficult schedule in the league.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
They've got 3 juggernauts back to back the next 3 weeks.
What do we got going on? What is Baltimore doing?
I don't know. It looks like someone's got the reins too tight on Lamar for me a little bit. Like he doesn't look happy to me. Like, sometimes they're excited to play and they're just running loose and enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
He doesn't look happy. He doesn't look like looks like someone's got the reins too tight on him, man.
And they looked good week 1, and then they came out week 2. No run from any Baltimore. They've got receivers, tight ends. Nothing was going.
Nothing. It's really disappointing.
Yeah, Isaiah Likely, who broke out week 1, was quiet. Mark Andrews was quiet. I think Zay Flowers was the only bright spot on Sunday.
Now Jim Harbaugh is 2-0, and John Harbaugh is 0-2.
Yeah,
let's just throw that out in the air.
I wanted to point that out. I said John Harbaugh coming into the Chargers was going to make a turnaround.
Jim.
Jim. Sorry, not John. John's the worst coach right now.
The worst hardball.
And he's made a difference.
He has.
But we're not going to talk too much about that. They beat the Panthers. So,
yeah,
the Ravens got to get going.
They do, absolutely.
But that's it. That's it for the Ravens. On to the final game.
Sorry, gracious.
He's always doing too much. He's always
doing
too much.
I just cleared my throat. I feel like there's a lot of hole writing.
Cardinals Rams. The Cardinals with a blowout win over the team that I bet money on to win, and I lost a lot of money on that game. 41-10. Arizona Cardinals.
I was about to ask you what the score was. I couldn't remember.
41-10.
You didn't have to watch the whole game.
I actually didn't watch that game, but we're going to touch on the Rams really quickly before we move into the Cardinals. Puka Nacua on IR, Cooper Kupp looking like he's probably also going on IR with the ankle. Kyron didn't look all that great Sunday.
No, the crazy thing is he had first play of the game, Kyron Williams. So the Blake Corum returns a kickoff for like 47 yards. They get all the way to like the 50 or something like that. Yep. And I'm like, oh, here we go again. First play from scrimmage, Kyron Williams runs for 9 yards. No problem. I'm like, all right, well, just chalk this up for a loss. I'm going to go home and cry tonight, and it's going to be embarrassing. I'm going to record it, and I'm going to put it all over TikTok. And so, but once that, and then after that, nothing. The
rest of the game.
Yeah, it's a beautiful sight, really.
I mean, not the Cooper Kupp injury. You hate to see that. No. Especially when he was coming into this year healthy, looking like back to a top 3 receiver.
Yeah. Oh, he looked fantastic on week 1.
Sucks to see, but injuries are plaguing the Rams.
Yeah. So, oh my God, the offensive line is absolutely brutal.
Yep. So that's really all to touch on for the Rams. They looked atrocious, but
I'll let you guys start with the Cardinals. I want to hear you guys talk great. Again, there's this 5'10" guy that walks around here and makes some plays. I can't remember what his name is, but if you guys can remind me what his name is.
If you want to be quiet and let us talk, we'll speak on the game.
I'm just, you know what? It's a big win Monday, Tuesday.
You're a really big suck up right now.
Listen. I'm just saying, it is a great day to be a Cardinals fan.
Just be quiet.
Enjoy it. I've been here 11 years now, and I've met a lot of Cardinals fans who get really sad.
Sad is an understatement. Sad. Oh, when they lost in the NFC Championship, I cried like a baby.
See?
Didn't leave my room.
But enjoy it, like you said.
I remember a few years ago, they started out, 10-0, and then what happened?
No, they started 7-0.
7-0.
And then they finished 11-6.
I have friends from back home asking me if I was an Arizonian. I was like, what does that even mean?
Well, I'm proud Arizonian.
I think the biggest thing that we have to take away is Marvin Harrison Jr. After a abysmal week 1, nowhere to be found. Came out first 2 plays, first 2 receptions, first 2 touchdowns.
Damn right.
And I liked after the game, they were talking about his connection with Kyler Murray, and he, instead of talking about his receptions and touchdowns, mentioned his 4 receptions that were dropped.
Yeah.
I like that mentality.
Yeah, that's dope.
Kyler looked good. Trey McBride looked good. There's really not a whole lot to say. Everything was working on that offense. And we saw that week 1 when they came out, and I think you're seeing it. The Cardinals can put points up in a hurry.
Yes.
They can put up points so fast in that offense. I think the thing is can the defense hold teams while they put up those points? And they did. Week 2, they did.
Kyler's exciting to watch, man.
Kyler is so fun to watch.
To me, it's like the opposite of what I spoke to earlier about Lamar. Like, watching Kyler just seems like he's having fun out there, man. And that's what you used to watching Lamar do, but Kyler was having a ball out there, man. It's exciting to watch.
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of bright spots: Trey McBride, Kyler, MHJ, James Conner, all the guys that we talked about. I want to give a shout out to Greg Dortch. Is that his name? Greg Dortch.
Greg, what a Dortch.
Man, first 2 weeks, he's looked pretty good. He as a second option receiver, who went off week 1 and then obviously was behind MHJ, but demands some presence on the field.
See, the problem with that but to respond to that real quick, the problem with it, he's supposed to be number 3. Michael Wilson is supposed to be our number 2 guy.
And he hasn't. He
has been so very quiet.
Yep.
I don't know if he just can't get open. I don't know if he's just not being looked at. But Greg Dortch has been, even last year, he was our unsung hero.
Yep.
He was fantastic at the end of last season.
Could be matchups.
That's another great point. So, but he's 6'3", big, physical. There's no reason why he should not be getting numbers,
especially with Trey McBride and MHJ as the number 1 and 2 targets.
Exactly,
you should be getting open.
Exactly,
and he's not.
So I don't understand that.
Don't know where he's going,
but to react to Sunday. Sorry, I'm gonna try and do this without a smile. I don't know how realistic it is, but
just don't talk for 15 minutes. Keep it to 3 minutes, and we'll move.
I don't know if you guys can see. He brought in a championship belt as.
Hold on. Let me. Oh yeah, y'all saw it in the skit. But you know what? While I talk, let me
actually won.
We just.
Goodness gracious.
I'm gonna just sit back.
Let him have his moment, everyone. Let him have his moment.
Hold on. Let me just put this here while I talk about greatness. Yeah. Okay. First of all, Kyler looked fantastic. Kyler looked like the MVP candidate he looked like 3 years ago. That was my biggest takeaway from Sunday. While Kyler looked that good, we ran the ball 40 times for over 230 yards. James Conner had over 120 yards and a touchdown. We ran the ball at a very, very efficient level, which opened up the game for Kyler Murray.
He did the same week 1.
Did the same week 1. Now, the difference between week 1 and week 2, Marvin Harrison Jr. got involved immediately. The problem is the play. So what happened was the biggest thing that the coaches were saying in week 1, they're playing a lot of cloud coverage against Marvin Harrison Jr., which means for my non-football nerds, cloud coverage is so there's a corner in front of Marvin Harrison Jr. That corner stays in a flat. So that corner stays in a flat. So he's not following Marvin Harrison Jr. So that corner is staying in his flat, which means that corner is in the flat. The safety is over the top in his zone, making sure that Marvin Harrison won't beat them deep. So the only way to actually find Marvin Harrison Jr. is between that corner and that deep safety. And it's hard to squeeze it in there because if the corner drops it back far enough, he can pick it off. If the safety drops down far enough, he can pick it off. So again, the Drew Petzing and the rest of the offensive staff have to be able to find a way to beat that cloud coverage that's gotten to him. I'm going to say 2 weeks in a row because yes, he went off for 130 and 2 touchdowns in the first quarter. Didn't catch a pass after the first quarter because they went right back to the cloud coverage. That has to change. If I'm nitpicking from everything we did well in this game, that has to change. Because then everybody's going to look at it. Oh, we just have to play cloud against Marvin Harrison Jr. and he's not going to touch the ball. So that has to change. Everything else, we did fantastic. We defended the run. We ran the ball well. Kyler played extremely well. The offensive line blocked very well. We got to the passer. We rushed the passer. Dennis Gardeck had 3 sacks. We rushed the passer well. Everything we did extremely well. Coaching, extremely high level. Extremely high level. So the fact that, this is a Rams team we haven't beat since they were the St. Louis Rams, that we haven't beat in Arizona since they were the St. Louis Rams. The last time we beat the Rams in Arizona was 2014. So this was a huge win for us to get over that hump. Sean McVay owns the Cardinals. This was also Sean McVay's worst loss of his entire coaching career. So if we're able to sustain this, now we have Detroit next week, which is going to be a tough task. But if they throw the ball 55 times again, I guarantee you we'll win that football game. I guarantee you we win that football game. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So we looked fantastic this week. You know, I got all my stuff on. I know I have a DeAndre Hopkins jersey on. Shut your mouth. Shut it up. He was. You're Marvin Harrison Jr. Shut your face. Shut it up. I'm a Cardinals fan.
You need a K1 jersey.
Do you need a K1? Everybody has a K1 jersey.
Hey,
everybody has one. I gotta be.
He's a star.
He wants to be so different.
No, give me a Greg Dortch jersey.
You want a James Conner jersey?
Give me. But a lot of people have James Conner jersey.
Give you a Trey Benson jersey.
Oh, give me a Trey Benson jersey. Take the paint off his helmet. Yup. That and also, sorry, I was gonna say something else. I forgot what it was.
Good. Can we move on?
Yeah. What do you say we rank some teams here, David Largo?
I agree.
What do you say we get into Gumball and DLO's Pull of Power? And Tone says,
pause.
All right, it is that time of the week. Every week from now until the very end of football season, until Super Bowl 69, 50, whatever number it is, where we do the Gumball and DLO's Pull of Power. Now, you may ask, what is the Pull of Power, David Largo? The Pull of Power is where DLO and I give you our top 5 teams after each and every NFL week. This week, obviously week 2. How about let's start with number 5, David Largo. Let's start with number 5. Number 5 being the New Orleans Saints. Let me tell you what. In week 1, I was like, it's the Panthers, right? I could go out there and score 45 points against the Panthers. Anybody can do that. They come out this week into Jerry's world, went out and bent over the Dallas Cowboys. No Diddy. No. Maybe Lil Diddy. Maybe Lil Diddy was involved.
No, there's no Diddy.
Maybe Lil Diddy was involved.
No Diddy involved.
But can I say that? We're going to get demonetized?
Demonetized.
Sorry. All right. But number 5, New Orleans Saints, they look very, very good these first 2 weeks. Obviously going into Carolina beating Carolina at home, and then going into Jerry's World, 18C Stadium, and absolutely demolishing the Dallas Cowboys. What Alvin Kamara has been able to do, what Derek Carr has been able to do, and what that defense has been able to do. Very impressive through these first 2 weeks. DJ David Largo, can you hit that track for me? Number 4, we have the Houston Texans. Boy, we got them Texans, and they look doggone good. That defense has looked fantastic within these first 2 weeks. Not as much against Indianapolis, but they still got the job done. They looked way, way good against the Chicago Bears on Sunday Night Football. They were able to get to the passer. They got to Caleb Williams a whole bunch, affected his game. They had some turnovers. Derek Stingley had a fantastic interception. Jalen Petrie had a fantastic game. That team looks great, and they didn't even need CJ Stroud to have an amazing game for them to win. Love the Texans. I love what they're doing. I think they are a top 3 team in the AFC right now. I think they're at number 3. Love what the Texans are doing. I love CJ Stroud. I think he's a top 5 quarterback, top 7 quarterback in the league. But they won, and he didn't even have a great game. Nico Collins looked damn good, though. They look damn good. But DJ David Largo, let's hit that number 3 track. Number 3, we have the San Francisco 49ers. Look, I know I was just bashing them. They lost to the Minnesota Vikings. They lost to Sam Darnold and the Minnesota Vikings. But I'll tell you what, for whatever reason, the Vikings just have their number. They just have them. They just have their number. You know, when I'm looking at Canes on the way home, and I look like this, and I'm trying to control myself, well, Canes just has my number. And that's what Minnesota Vikings have against the 49ers. And listen, the 49ers are going to be fine. They're going to be fine. Their offense is going to pick up. The defense is going to get it even better. I'm not worried about them. I still think they are a top 3 team in the NFL. I think the offense is going to pick up right where they left off last season. They haven't looked the same in the first 2 weeks. The defense is going to get better. Hufanga is going to come back. Fred Warner, again, is the best linebacker in the league. Nick Bosa, one of the best pass rushers in the league. That team is going to be fine. Christian McCaffrey is going to come back and absolutely show up and show out, even more than Jordan Mason already is. And he showed up a whole lot. So, but number 2, DJ Largo. Number 2, we have the Buffalo Bills of New York. Listen to me. Josh Allen has played very well, and he didn't even need to play very well on Thursday night. Tua Tagovailoa. Hopefully, obviously, all jokes aside, praying that he's okay. He needs to hang it up. We didn't talk about very much.
They don't call him Tua Tagovailoa anymore. They call him Tua Turn the Ball Over.
Tua Turn the Ball Over. That's a great name for him. That's an accurate name for him. But I think the Bills look way. They've looked very good within the first 2 weeks. Again, they did go down early to the Cardinals in week 1, 17-3. Came all the way back and did end up winning that game. Josh Allen had a big part to doing that. He has 5 touchdowns through 2 weeks. The defense looks good, way better than I even thought it after losing both of their safeties. They look very, very good. They've had their, and again, having a quarterback like Josh Allen, obviously scary, and he can make a play at any time. James Cook looks damn good. If they're able to keep running that ball at an efficient level, they're going to be fantastic. But DJ, David Largo, what do you say we get to the number 1 team? Huh? No,
I don't want to.
I think I would love to. What do you think, Tone? I think I would love to get to that number 1 team. You already know who the number 1 team is. Do you even have to look? Do you even have to look at the number 1 team? Let's be honest. Do you have to look at the number 1 team?
Yes.
I didn't think so. Kansas City Chiefs have the greatest quarterback, which means they have the greatest team. No, that's not the only reason why they're the greatest team. They have a great defense. Their defense showed up and played when they absolutely needed to. They made plays on Sunday against Cincinnati. Now, that game, it was a little too close for comfort. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes being the fantastic NFL quarterback that he is, he went down, made a drive, and got the game-winning field goal. Ended up winning that game for Kansas City. Again, Kansas City knows how to win games. When you know how to win games, you know how to win playoff games. When you know how to win playoff games, you know how to win Super Bowls. That's exactly what they've done, and that's exactly what they're going to do this year. Watch what I tell you. I'm a mind reader. I tell the future. Listen to me. Listen. Who's to say that the Cardinals will end up in Gumball's Polar Power next week? I'm just saying. You go out and beat Detroit. Again, I hope they throw that ball 55 times again. We will walk out of there with a nice little W. Guarantee it. But that's going to close out my Polar Power. David Largo, it is my turn to DJ. It is your turn to give us your Polar Power. I'm sure it's not nearly going to be nearly even close as to good as mine is, but I guess we're just going to have to take that chance.
All right. Time for the better Polar Power, featuring DLO. The correct Polar Power.
3.
DJ Jamal. Let's go ahead and start.
Gladly.
Right into it. Number 5. I got the Minnesota Vikings. And listen, Sam Darnold has looked really good. Justin Jefferson, best receiver in the league, but the defense has looked damn good to start the year. Better than we thought. They beat, in our opinion, a top 2 team in the NFL. And top 2.
Let's not get carried away here.
Top 2 team. They were in the Super Bowl last year until proven otherwise. They're top 2.
All right, well, they're 1-1.
Yeah, so are the Cardinals. Anyway,
I didn't
back
have
to the Polar Power. Yeah, they look really good. We'll see how that Justin Jefferson injury plays a part. But Aaron Jones just looked good. Overall, man. It may be a number thing. They may have the Niners number.
Harrison Smith is like 72 years old.
But they look good. All right, DJ Jamal, on to number 4. Look who it is.
Hold on. Oh,
The old fan didn't even put him in the Polar Power. And
I
did.
My God.
I did.
Hold on, let's just take a look to admire him. Are you kidding me?
You can go ahead and admire real quick.
Look at him. Look how great he is. Okay, so if you guys don't know, we do not tell each other's Polar Power every week. We don't tell each other. Because we want to surprise each other. To say that I'm surprised is an understatement. It's an absolute understatement. Hold on. Let's take another second. I'm sorry, D'Lo. To admire the Arizona Cardinals and David Largo's Polar Power. All right, sorry. Take it away.
We saw where he put the Bills in his Polar Power, and they were one drive away, one pass away from hitting Marvin Harrison Jr. in the touchdown zone to winning that game. and then they come out and put up points again in a hurry against the Rams. I like where they're at. I like offensively how they look. I think that they are going to be better than we thought. They could be a 10-win team this year.
Okay. Love it. Wow.
Yeah, I like how they played the first 2 weeks, especially against the Bills, who we'll see a little bit later. And D-Lo's full of power. But
Can we just leave it here? I mean,
no, we will not. On to number 3. I've got the Kansas City Chiefs at number 3. Listen,
here's where the list just derails.
They should realistically be 0-2 right now. If Isaiah Likely keeps his foot in bounds, they're 0-1. If the Bengals don't have a really bad pass interference, they're 0-2. I get that they're 2-0 right now. That's why I have them here. Patrick Mahomes played good week 1, played a pretty bad week 2, 2 really bad turnovers, but he did have that game-winning drive to set up the field goal. So I have to get them respect. I have to acknowledge they're 2-0. I have to acknowledge that I have to put them here.
Can we also admire him too? Yeah. Not just Kyler, but
Okay.
the 2 best quarterbacks in the league, Patrick Mahomes and Kyler Murray.
Best over here.
I'm just saying. Listen. You have to admire greatness. When you look at him, look. Let me get out the way. Look at that face. When you look at that face, that is greatness. Okay. So is the one previous to this. 2 best quarterbacks in the league. Sorry, I just want to point that out.
Either way, I have them at number 3. They've looked really shaky to start the year. Outside of a few bright spots, Travis Kelce is nowhere to be found. Pacheco will now be out a few weeks. We'll see how they continue, but for right now, I have to put them in the top 5. I have them at number 3. You guys are all on to number 2.
What? Sorry.
I've got the Buffalo Bills, number 2. And coming into the year, we had no idea where they were going to be. Obviously, left out in week 1 because, we didn't. They squeaked out a win against the Cardinals. Didn't know how good the Cardinals were going to be. We've got more data, obviously, and we know the Cardinals look really damn good. And so the Bills look even better, especially after beating another top offense in the Dolphins. Put up 10 points. That defense looked really good Thursday night. Josh Allen didn't have to throw the football because James Cook looked so good running the football.
He looks fantastic.
3 touchdowns, little hat trick for him. We didn't know what to expect, and now we do. The Bills look good. I've got them at number 2, but
so okay. First of all, we share our number 2. We share our second best team in the NFL. If number 1 is who I think it is, D-Lo, you better have a damn good explanation for number 1.
It sure is. Look at number 1.
Okay, it's not who I thought it was, but
you thought it was the Niners.
I absolutely thought I was going to RKO you through that box there.
I've got the New Orleans Saints. And listen, coming into week 1, they blew out the Panthers. I couldn't put them in the top 5. It's the Panthers. But then they do it against the Dallas Cowboy defense led by Micah Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence, and Trevon Diggs. And they put up another 40 bomb on the Dallas Cowboys. Listen, Kamara looks really good. Derek Carr does not look like a below-average quarterback right now with that offensive coordinator drawing up those teams. They look really good, and I expect them to continue. Maybe not as number 1, but definitely up here if they continue to put up points like they have in the first 2 weeks. So, I've got the Saints number 1.
All right. So, okay. Well, now that both of our polls of power are finished, what's your okay? I'm going to give you my reaction to your poll of power first.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at Saints being number 1. I'm not mad at it. I was going to be mad if you put the Niners in there. Oh, I was going to be livid if you put the Niners in there.
The Niners are at 6.
Okay, I can get behind that. I love the Saints at number 1. I don't love it. I like the Saints at number 1. The way they've played, what they've been able to do, they played very well. I like the Saints at number 1. Obviously, Bills, we share the same pick. Number 3, you had who's your number 3? Chiefs. That's right. Yeah, insanity. So let's move on.
It's not insane.
They have the greatest quarterback to ever step foot on the football field.
And they should be 0-2.
Should
be 0-2.
I should.
So I'm giving them respect and putting them at number 2.
Yeah. Well, I should be playing in Major League Baseball, but look to where I am. I'm here recording a podcast with you.
We'll move on.
You know what I mean?
You ain't gonna say it like that. This is just awful.
No, I'm not saying that, but but I'm not playing in the Major League Baseball. Yeah, dude, I love doing this. Three of us are here. You know, obviously Tom behind the camera. We're gonna get back.
Doesn't
Sam
seem
for
like
the
he enjoys my presence, but anyway.
Absolutely not. Was that not clear? I'm sorry that I didn't make that clear enough. But but okay. So and then you had obviously I love Arizona Cardinals number 4. I don't have them in my top 5.
The non-Arizona fan put them in the top 5.
I don't have them in my top 5 just yet. I think they played very well against Los Angeles. I want to see
very
more.
well against the number 2 ranked total power team.
In fact, they probably should have won that game. I just don't. I don't. I have to see. I have to see the defense come along a little bit more. And then at 5, you had Minnesota, which is I agree. I think they're well deserving to be in the top 5. I just can't right now. Again, I know they just beat them, but I can't put them over San Francisco just yet, just because I've seen what they did last season to them, Minnesota, and they were just fine after that. So all right, we're back in the studio. I hope you all enjoyed the Poll of Power. Hope you all enjoyed the skit at the beginning. I'm gonna work on that. I'm really excited about that. I really hope you guys like it. Again,
And next week it'll be different.
All right, so we're just kind of wishing stuff now, but
We're working on our acting careers as well.
Yeah.
It's what I think we're pretty good at it.
I would like to say I'm Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh my, I'm Denzel. I'm going with Denzel. I'm the old guy here. You know,
Yeah,
experienced.
Gramps in the chair.
He doesn't have his uncle here, and he's still
no unk. And all right, well, I'll just close it out by saying I'm Michael B. Jordan, and that's gonna close out this episode of
Not
Gumball
even as
Sports
good.
League.
They're not even relating to us. It's not even in the same stratosphere.
What do you mean?
You got 2 of the best actors of all time,
ever.
and then you pick
Michael B. Jordan is not one of the greatest actors of all time.
No,
All time.
all time.
This is gonna be another conversation on the cast. We gotta have this. All time is
All
crazy.
time is crazy.
Michael B.
He's like
Jordan's
top
got
15.
like 20 movies ever, and he's talking about all time is crazy.
He's like top 15.
Give me his top 5 movies real quick before we close out.
Creed for sure. Whichever one, they're all good. I gotta think.
That's
There's
All right,
problem
so
created.
It's been like 3 seconds.
Problem
So,
created.
Okay, we'll have to think. There's the movies from Prime was good. I forget what it's called.
none of it is beating Inception.
No, well, no. I'm
Leonardo DiCaprio.
no, I'm not saying Michael Jordan is better than Denzel or Leonardo.
You got to add the B in there. Don't just say Michael Jordan. You can't call him that. There's,
Oh, did
there's
I not say
only
B?
one Michael Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're right. Michael B. Jordan.
But this would be a great conversation. We're gonna have to make some notes for that.
Halle
Cast.
Berry's up there too. Halle Berry.
Yeah.
Michael B. Jordan is not even in the top 15.
He's absolutely in the top 15.
All right, here we go. Save it for the pod.
He's absolutely in the top 15.
Save it for the pod.
Yeah, no, we'll
Because
save
you're
it for the
talking
next
crazy. You're talking out your neck right now.
episode.
It's crazy.
It's a joke.
You're speaking
I
for
took-
someone who doesn't watch movies. You can't speak on it. You watch the only movie you've seen more than once is Cars.
Oh yeah, because that's the single greatest movie of all time.
What is going on?
Here we go. All right, let's close it out.
There's really no argument.
This man
But-
is bragging about somebody he doesn't even watch on film. It's crazy.
We've had enough. We'll close it out here. We're tired of Jamal.
Listen, I only speak truth. I told you I've never lost a debate, and I'm never going to lose a debate.
That's so.
But
I can't wait to have this GOAT debate too.
you don't
On
want that.
football, strictly football. We already know who the GOAT is on
All right.
basketball.
Yeah.
Shout out to my Pats too, man. Let's get this dub on Thursday, man.
Yeah, I hope Aaron Rodgers throws for 600.
Goodness gracious, he's just a hater.
I hope he throws for 6.
Just a glorified hater.
I hope Brees Hall runs for 700 yards.
Messy.
Listen, I think the
I hope
Jets.
Jacoby Brissett and Drake May both throw 8 interceptions.
I think the Jets are still gonna win, but like, dude, you gotta put some respect.
No, I think they're still going to win too. But I mean, no,
Hold
I
it
don't.
down. Let's hold it down, fellas.
I think they're gonna. I think
They
they're gonna
are.
put up a fight. But
That defense is gonna look good.
Let's shake up the world.
all right, that's gonna close it out. I hope you all enjoyed it. Again, a bunch of new stuff, a brand new setup, a skit, week 2 version of Polar Power, a bunch of stuff in this episode, a bunch of reactions to the 49ers sucking, the Patriots sucking, and the Cardinals being absolutely great. Which is gonna happen a whole lot here in the future. So hope you all enjoyed. That's going to close it out. Love you all. I probably don't say it enough, but like and subscribe. How about that?
Do it.
Please.
Yeah, if he leaves my segment in the video from earlier, I already said that. Like, comment, subscribe, comment your favorite Boston athlete of all time. He probably won't leave it in the video, so I'll stick it right here. Comment, subscribe.
Well, I was going to leave it in the video, but now I want to take it out.
Well, now you can take it out because I said it right here.
All right. Well, thank you.
Comment your favorite Boston athlete of all time.
Jason Tatum.
You never know.
Thank you for watching. That's going to close it out for Tony, for DLO.
It's not
for
Jason
yours
Tatum.
truly, Gumball. We out. We going to see you later this week or next week. We'll see, maybe. I'm out.